Welcome back to the channel, folks. Mr. H here, and surprisingly, we are talking Alien 5 again. Now, for those that don't know, just a brief recap and kind of rundown as well for why we're talking about this associated with James Cameron. So, Alien 5 was a project by Neill Blomkamp, and it was going to be a true sequel to Aliens. That's what it was, slated as anyway. And Neill Blomkamp has long moved on from the project, at least publicly. This may indicate that he's not behind closed doors, but publicly he's definitely moved on from the project. He refuses to really talk about it, and he refuses to really talk about what actually happened, because for those that don't know, it's just been a political, shitstorm, basically. So we had Ridley Scott, who was attached to produce Alien 5. Bearing in mind, Alien 5 was due to be called Alien Awakening, which then got taken, the name got taken for Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant sequel. But he was due to produce, along with Neill Blomkamp, this movie, which was supposed to give the fans kind of what they wanted and give the fans a send-off for Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley. Now, James Cameron had publicly stated how much he liked the script. In fact, he even described it as gangbusters. Along with Sigourney Weaver, she absolutely sang the praises of this script. And then you had Ridley Scott, who turned around and said there was no script. Amazingly. For a film which had actually sort of entered into some form of pre-production. They were doing location scouting and everything. It was pretty much ready to go. But then it got canned. So, you can put two and two together and definitely see that it was just a political nightmare behind closed doors. I believe, again, this is just a bit of a guess, but it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. I think Ridley Scott didn't really like the limelight being taken away. He probably wanted everyone to focus on his movies rather than have another one to maybe muddy the water and confuse people. And, that's being nice about it. The other side of it is that he probably didn't like the fact that a lot of people really seemed to be on board for this, and a lot of people didn't really seem to be on board for his Prometheus stuff. So, there's kind of two sides to that coin, but like I said, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Now, the reason why we're talking about this today is because on the red carpet for Alita Battle Angel, which James Cameron has produced, James Cameron was asked about Alien 5, and his response was really quite surprising. So this is courtesy of IGN. IGN was talking about Terminator, but then touched on Alien 5. And IGN asked, after Tim takes care of that, referring to Terminator, can you give Neill Blomkamp a call about Aliens, please? To which James Cameron replies, I'm working on that, yeah. Which is awesome to hear. It would appear that James Cameron is still quite a proponent of this movie. And if you've got to look at, how James Cameron is handling his properties at the moment, he's having a bit of a resurgence of his nostalgia, of his older properties. So he got half the rights back to Terminator, which is why he then handed it over to Tim, and then, has more creative control over it. Tim Miller, the director of Terminator 6. And now it would appear that he wants to get Aliens back off the ground, which of course, he did Aliens. So, between the two of them, people say Ridley Scott created the Alien franchise. I would direct you to Alien Origins. That film will probably tell you an awful lot of why Ridley Scott didn't create the Alien franchise, but that's neither here nor there. So arguably, it was actually James Cameron alongside Ridley Scott that have, quite a large say in the direction that the Alien universe went in. So it sounds like James Cameron wants to try to push this off the ground, which, look, nothing is going to happen until the Disney Fox deal is done. But this is huge news, because it's the first we've heard about it for a really, really long time. And it sounds like James Cameron is not quite done with it. It sounds like he still wants it to get off the ground, which I think is great to hear. I don't know about you, but from a personal perspective, as much as I want Ridley Scott to finish what he started, because, whatever you think about the movies, I'm sure everyone can agree that it's not good to have unfinished stories. It would be good to have this one as well, even if it's just an Elseworld story. I just think it would be cool. And Neill Blomkamp arguably has done some fantastic stuff with his Oates shorts. Him alongside James Cameron, yeah, do it. I think it would be good. I think it would be, you know, I don't know whether it would be excellent or anything like that, but I'd like to see it. I think Neill Blomkamp is one of those people that is fantastic at what he does, but he's not really been given the chance to work in the confines of a universe, and I think he would do some great stuff with that. So there you go, that's the news. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you are new here, hit subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like and a share. I'm Mr. H.